Good afternoon. We're here to tell you about our 2 fully funded pilots, where Capchar technology is already working to utilise waste wood to generate a triple win: carbon negative heat, biochar and carbon credits, saving energy and creating additional income. Trees are nature's original carbon capture, and in fact the government has advocated that we need to grow more trees if we're to reach net zero by 2030. However, we are losing more and more trees every year to damage, disease and destruction. And for every tree that's burnt, the majority of it creates a ton of carbon, releasing effectively more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. In fact, it's the equivalent of driving a family car, small family car, for a year. What a waste of a waste. This is Tom's yard. He is a tree grower with a ridiculous problem. Every year, he spends £30,000 on his gas heating bill, and at the same time, fills 30 shipping containers full of waste wood, which he can't use due to its shape, size, and moisture content. Capchar technology can solve Tom's problem. We take his waste wood and we convert it into locally stored heat, while also generating biochar and carbon credits as byproducts. Our tech is modular, as you can see, so we can scale to meet customers' needs. And at less than 100K, our tech is 10 times less than the competition. Customers buy our technology, and then they pay a monthly fee to issue carbon credits, which they can either choose to keep, reducing their own emissions, or sell on.
So if Tom uses our technology, he basically has no more £30,000 gas bill. And by converting his waste wood into biochar, he essentially locks up 50% of the carbon permanently for potentially hundreds to thousands of years. At the same time, he can make a profit of potentially up to £20,000 in revenue. And that means that he can pay back our technology within 3 years. So we have a £500 million UK market opportunity where we can go after 40,000 tree growers in the UK, just like Tom, who have waste wood that they could use for their heating. But we're not just stopping there. We're already talking to country estates, farms, and local authorities, all who have a similar problem. Our 2030 ambition is to achieve for our customers £100 million in fuel savings, fossil fuel savings, for our customers, and to reduce and remove 2 million tonnes of carbon dioxide within the same time period. We're raising £500,000 in 2025 to build our team, commercialise our solution, and to make UK sales, expanding internationally in 2027. We have invested £715,000 of 100% grant funding that we've received over the last 4 years to show that the Capchar solution works. We are an experienced team of founders who have built businesses across Australia, the UK, and Spain, and we have the battle scars to show the 25 years of experience doing so. My name is Adam Samuel.
And I'm Chinta Mahida, and we are co-founders of Capchar. We'd like to thank Undaunted for today's opportunity.
And if you guys have any questions, please come and talk to us at the stand afterwards. Thank you very much for listening.
You don't need to wait until after, because you can ask your questions now. Just scan the code above us here for your questions to put to Capchar. And let's kick things off with one while we're waiting for the questions to come in about the amount of waste wood available. Is there enough?
Well, there is. Actually, because of the reasons I discussed, we have got more storms that are creating damage, and over the next 30 years, we expect to lose 90% of our trees to ash dieback. So waste wood volumes are increasing, and we also can't plant as fast as we're losing them. So it makes sense to turn them into a better material.
So the latest stats also say that in the UK, we create 3.25 million tonnes of wood chip in the UK alone. So I think there definitely is plenty. But one of the things that's really important to us is to empower the people that use our technology and to start looking at trees and waste wood not as a waste, but as an asset, which means they value it more and therefore will use it in their supply chain.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's your path to scale, asks one audience member.
Our path to scale is essentially start in the UK. And so we're going to go after a number of different markets, as we said, tree growers, country estates, and those that have waste wood. There are many of them, but all of them have the same problem. So we have a solution that broadly works across the majority of those markets. But the UK is, of course, just one country, and there are many of these type of customers in many different parts of the world. So we will aim to look at expanding out internationally in 2027, probably starting in Europe, but we have a solution where our capex is low. So therefore, in places in the world where labour may be cheaper, our solutions should work even better.
Okay. Another question asks about the commercial uses of biochar. Who would be the buyer?
Well, at the moment, the UK doesn't actually make a lot of biochar. It's starting to scale up. We're a bit behind the times here. But biochar has many uses. Particularly, we've done a lot of work on farm where it has applications as a slow-release fertiliser. It also mitigates ammonia emissions. And also, it's becoming a materials aggregate. So you can add it to concrete to make it low carbon, asphalt. So yeah, there's quite a few applications of it. But we actually are working with people who we think would not be selling it. They will probably be using it on site themselves. So for example, the tree grower, if they use biochar, they can help their trees to survive longer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Moving on, what makes you stand out from your competitors?
Great question. Well, I think anyone who knows the biochar market, and if you've looked into the technology, you've got two ends of a scale. You can make biochar in a skip or an oil drum. It's that easy, or even a pit. And many people do. The problem with that is that obviously we don't know how much methane is still coming off that, so therefore it's not great from a carbon perspective. At the other end, you've got continuous pyrolysis machines, which are very expensive, capex usually above £1 million, and there literally is very little in between. There's a few charcoal retorts, but again, they have their own issues. So we saw this as an opportunity 4 years ago, and we've been working to basically come up with a technology that is cheap, but also delivers everything that you need to deliver for a high-quality biochar, as well as the ability to get carbon credits in the future.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think we have time for just one more question. How developed is your carbon credit model?
Well, we've written our own biochar carbon code, which has been out for consultation. And we have already sold carbon credits, pre-sold carbon credits in our first pilot to a UK architect who was looking for high-quality carbon credits in the UK, obviously in light of issues with nature-based credit maybe coming from abroad.
So as well as that, we have actually set up a DMRV system, which is Digital Monitoring, Reporting and Verification System, which essentially looks at the provenance of the material and the full chain of custody audit of the material all the way through the process so that we can provide a high-quality carbon credit. So we are just about to do our first LTA and launch of the first issued carbon credits on our platform, and we will have our public registry up and running in a few weeks' time.
Fantastic. That brings us to time. Capchar, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.